Tonight, before sleep slowly wraps itself around your thoughts, before the world outside becomes only distant echoes, I want to take you somewhere hidden, somewhere ancient, somewhere so deep beneath the earth that even memory hesitates to follow. A place sealed in silence, a place protected by stone, a place the world was never meant to find. Close your eyes softly. Let your breath slow. Let the quiet of the night settle around you like a gentle blanket. And welcome to Dreams of History. Tonight, we journey into a legend that has whispered through American deserts for more than a century. A forbidden story buried deep beneath the red walls of the Grand Canyon. By day, the canyon is bright and immense, a world of sunlight, wind, and endless stone. But by night, when the stars spread across the sky like ancient fires, the canyon becomes something else entirely, a gateway, a memory, a door into the unknown. This is the story of an underground city, a vast hidden world that explorers claim to discover in the early 1900s. Deep within the unreachable cliffs of the Grand Canyon, a place filled with massive stone chambers, strange metallic artifacts, statues resembling Egyptian and Tibetan art, markings that looked like hieroglyphs, and dark corridors that stretched deeper than any map dared to follow. A place that, once found, was sealed, silenced, forgotten. But tonight, in the quiet of your room, in the soft glow of the evening, we return to that underground world. Let the night open slowly around you. Let your breath become calm and steady. Let this journey carry you into the canyon's hidden past. Imagine standing at the canyon's edge, far from the crowded viewpoints, far from the noise of tourists and cameras. Here, only the wind speaks. It moves gently along the stone walls, carrying the scent of dust, pine, and ancient sand warmed by 1,000 sunsets. The sky above you is deep purple, fading slowly into black. Stars shimmer like shards of old stories, and the moon hangs low, brushing the canyon rims with silver. You stand quietly, listening. Each moment feels older than the last. Each breath draws you deeper into a place where time walks slowly, and where shadows guard memories not meant for ordinary eyes. Far below you, hidden in those same shadows, lies the entrance the old explorers described, a narrow opening carved into the canyon wall, nearly invisible unless you know exactly where to look. Tonight, you step closer to the edge, and the soft whisper of wind glides past your ears. The canyon yawns into darkness below, but you feel no fear, only curiosity, and a gentle pull, as if something ancient is calling you. Your hand brushes the stone, warm from the day's sunlight, cold beneath the surface, holding stories beneath every grain. Slowly, carefully, you descend along a narrow ledge, a path nearly erased by time. Pebbles slide beneath your feet, tumbling into the vast emptiness below, disappearing into the canyon's deep breath. You reach a small platform carved into the wall, and there, hidden behind a curtain of shadows, is the entrance. A crack in the canyon so thin it could be mistaken for a scar in the rock. But tonight, it's a doorway into the forbidden city. You place your hand against the opening. Cold air breathes out from the darkness, brushing your skin like the touch of an ancient ghost. The scent is different here, earthy, metallic, untouched by the world above for centuries. You take one slow breath and step inside. The world behind you disappears. The sunlight, the wind, the canyon, all gone inside. The air is cool and silent, a silence so deep it feels alive, like the earth itself is listening. The walls are rough at first, natural and uneven, as if you haven't entered a tunnel but the throat of the canyon itself. But as your eyes adjust, as the soft glow of your lantern begins to spread, the walls change. The rough stone becomes smooth, carved, shaped with intention. You run your fingers across the surface, polished, cold, patterned with lines that curve like rivers, frozen in rock. The further you walk, the more deliberate the carvings become. The tunnel narrows, then widens again, as though guiding you deeper, step by slow step. The silence shifts. It becomes softer. You hear your own breathing more clearly, echoing gently in the corridor like distant waves. Soon, the tunnel opens into the first chamber, the place the explorers try to describe in their fading. Half-believed newspaper reports, your lantern reveals it slowly. Like dawn breaking across ancient stone, a massive hall stretches before you, its ceiling high and domed, disappearing into darkness. Pillars carved from the canyon rock rise around the room, thick at the base, narrowing as they rise, then blossoming outward like the trunks of stone trees. You take a slow breath. The air feels older here, older than any place you've ever stood, thick with the scent of minerals, cold with the untouched breath of centuries. Along the walls, shapes begin to appear, carvings that resemble hieroglyphs, but not quite. Spirals, triangles, lines that weave together like languages trying to meet. Somewhere in the middle, you hold your lantern closer. One carving shows a figure standing beneath the earth, surrounded by tall columns of stone. Another shows a long hallway lit by floating orbs. Another depicts people climbing upward into the world above. Shielding their eyes from the sun, your breath slows, the calmness of the chamber seeping into your bones. You move deeper, footsteps echo softly. A faint sound, like a drip of water, taps from somewhere deep in the hall. Each echo has a strange, melodious quality, like the stone itself is humming, remembering, breathing. And then, you see it at the far end of the chamber. Resting atop a raised platform is a statue, tall, mysterious, carved with a precision that feels impossibly advanced for its age. You walk toward it, step by gentle step. Its face is elongated, its eyes deep and almond-shaped. Its robe adorned with symbols that shimmer faintly in your lantern's glow. In its hands, it holds a sphere carved with constellations, some familiar, some lost, some that feel like they belong to a sky that no longer exists. Here, in this quiet room beneath the Grand Canyon, you stand in the presence of something ancient and forgotten. Something that once lived, something that once watched, something that once remembered. You reach out, and for a moment, your fingertips touch the cold stone. A soft vibration stirs beneath your hand, a faint hum from deep within the rock. Not threatening, not sudden, just a whisper, a quiet acknowledgement, as if the city itself has noticed you. The chamber grows still, the air grows softer in the silence. You feel the weight of the story pressing gently around you, not heavy, not frightening, but like a blanket woven from forgotten centuries. And then, you see what lies behind the statue, a narrow doorway, carved perfectly, symmetrical, hidden in the shadows. A doorway that leads even deeper into the forbidden city beneath the Grand Canyon. And tonight, you are going through it. You stand before the narrow doorway hidden behind the great statue, the soft glow of your lantern pooling gently around your feet as the chamber behind you fades into quiet shadows. The air here feels different, colder, more deliberate, as if this passage has not been touched by breath or light in longer than the world above has existed. For a moment, you simply breathe, slow, steady, calm, letting your senses adjust to the deeper silence. The doorway's edges are carved with thin, delicate symbols, almost like veins of light frozen in stone. Spirals, flowing lines, tiny constellation shapes, all engraved with a precision that looks too advanced for any known ancient culture. They glow faintly when your lantern passes over them, as if reacting to warmth and movement. The chamber behind you watches silently. The statue stands still as a guardian. The air does not move. When you take your first step toward the doorway, the ancient silence seems to shift, almost welcoming, almost aware. You enter. The corridor on the other side is narrow but perfectly smooth. Your fingers slide across the wall as you walk, feeling no irregularities, no cracks, no roughness, nothing that suggests erosion or decay. It is as if the stone here was shaped with a tool far more precise than any chisel or humor humanity has ever known. Your footsteps echo in soft, rhythmic patterns that feel comforting, like the heartbeat of the earth guiding you deeper. Each step becomes slower, softer, quieter. The corridor slopes downward gently, curving like a descending spiral. The air grows cooler and carries a faint metallic scent, old iron, ancient minerals, something deep and untouched. Your lantern casts warm, golden light on the walls, revealing more carvings. These look different from the ones above. Here, the carvings are smaller, tighter, more intricate. Figure after figure is shown holding glowing spheres of light, tiny orbs that shine like miniature suns in the drawings. Paths wind downward under mountains. People appear to walk in long lines deep beneath the earth, guided by mysterious luminescent objects. Some carvings show rooms full of these glowing spheres, placed on pedestals like eternal lanterns. Others depict massive caverns with rivers flowing underground. Fish with elongated bodies, plants that look soft and luminous, as if they grew in a world without sunlight. It is a record, a visual memory of an underground civilization, a people, who may have lived here long before the desert above formed, long before the first humans walked across this red land, long before the canyon even existed. You keep walking. The ground becomes smoother underneath your feet, polished like obsidian. The air carries a faint hum, the same hum you felt when you touched the statue's soft, soothing, almost like a lullaby humming through the stone. The corridor widens into a tall, narrow hall. Its ceiling vanishes into darkness high above, and the walls curve inward slightly, giving the space the feeling of a giant's ribcage or the inside of some ancient stone shell. When you speak quietly, a whisper. The sound doesn't echo outward. It echoes upward, as if drifting toward the unseen ceiling, as if something above is listening. You stand completely still for a moment. The silence grows thick, but not oppressive. It feels like a presence, like a memory, like the echo of lives long gone, still lingering faintly in this timeless place. A soft breath of air brushes your cheek. You turn there. Near the far end of the hall is a gentle shimmer of light, small, flickering, like moonlight reflecting on water. You move toward it, breathing slowly. Your steps quiet. Your lantern held low. The shimmer grows brighter, a thin veil of illuminated dust hanging in the air, swirling gently as if stirred by invisible hands. As you approach, you realize the light is coming through a thin slit in the stone wall, a crack, an opening. No, a window, but not a window to the outside world. A window looking deeper inside. You lean closer through the narrow opening. Your lantern reveals a massive cavern beyond, but not like the ones above. Here, the cavern ceiling is covered in shimmering minerals that reflect the light-like starlight trapped underground. The floor below is dotted with enormous stone shapes, maybe buildings, maybe tombs, maybe chambers where people once lived. It looks like a city beneath a city still untouched, and for the first time tonight, your breath catches. This underground world is not a legend. It is real. You stand there for a long moment, your mind quiet, your body still, taking in the sight of a forgotten civilization sleeping in the Earth's heart. The shimmering minerals above you reflect your lantern back in tiny stars, creating an illusion of standing between two skies, one above, one below. A world reversed, a world hidden, a world waiting. You move on, following the hall as it curves to the right. The hum grows stronger, warmer, more rhythmic. The walls narrow slightly and your footsteps begin to sound different, more hollow, as if the floor below is now suspended over empty space. Soon, the passage opens into another chamber. This one is smaller, but more intimate, carved with extraordinary detail. There are no pillars, no vast domes, no symmetrical spaces here. Instead, the chamber feels like a sanctuary, a place of reflection. A place of memory. Your lantern reveals a circular basin carved into the floor. Inside it, clear water rests perfectly still, untouched, unmoving, like a mirror of time. You kneel beside it, and the water reflects your lantern, your face, and the faint shimmering of minerals above, but deeper within the water. Something else reflects back at you. Carvings, symbols, lines, glowing faintly beneath the surface. This is not a normal basin. It is a map of the underground city, but not the one carved on the stone floor above. This map shows even deeper layers, tunnels spiraling downward, chambers hidden in shadows, deep wells of light, and something marked at the very bottom with a symbol of concentric circles. The same circle within a circle symbol you saw earlier. You reach your hand toward the surface, but stop inches above the water. You feel warmth rising from it. A calm, gentle warmth, as if the water remembers something and is offering you a piece of its memory. But you do not touch. Some secrets need only to be witnessed, not disturbed. You rise slowly across the chamber. You see another narrow passage leading deeper, a low arch carved with delicate patterns that resemble flowing streams. This doorway is older, worn by time, its carvings softer, its edges smoothed. You walk toward it. The moment you step inside, the air changes again, becoming heavier, warmer, softer. The darkness ahead feels less like emptiness, and more like a presence waiting quietly in the shadows. You move deeper each step takes. You further into the heart of the underground city, further into the silence, further into the forgotten world the early explorers hinted at in their lost reports. The corridor widens. The ground drops again. You descend slowly, breathing deeply, letting the calmness of the night settle into your chest at the bottom of the slope. The corridor opens into a long hall, a hall filled with rows of alcoves carved into the walls. Your lantern flickers softly as you walk along the alcoves. Inside each one, rest objects, small statues, stone tablets, metal tools, curved bowls made of minerals that glimmer faintly. Artifacts from a world no one above has seen in thousands of years. Some alcoves are empty, their contents removed long ago by hands unknown, but others remain untouched. One alcove holds a stone mask with large eyes and a serene expression. Another holds a metallic cylinder covered in unfamiliar symbols, symbols that look mathematical, geometric, maybe even astronomical. Another alcove holds bundles wrapped in ancient fabric that looks impossibly well preserved, as if sealed away from time itself. You do not touch. You only look, breathe, listen. The deeper you go, the more the air feels alive, and then you reach the final alcove. This one is darker, not because your lantern lacks brightness, but because the space seems to swallow light. Inside rests something long and narrow, wrapped tightly in dark cloth. The shape is unmistakable, a body mummified, preserved, resting here for an age longer than memory. The cloth is decorated with tiny golden threads woven in patterns that resemble constellations, stars, paths, spirals of light. The figure is small, delicate, perhaps a youth, perhaps someone honored, perhaps someone guarding the way to the deeper halls. You bow your head slightly, not out of fear, but out of respect. This was a person, someone who lived in the underground world, someone whose story has slept in silence far, Beneath the canyon floor, you breathe softly and continue walking, moving past the final alcove toward the deeper darkness that lies ahead, because the underground city does not end here. This is only the outer edge, only the beginning. Ahead lies a larger chamber, a deeper memory, a greater secret, the heart of the Forbidden City, and tonight, your steps are leading you directly toward it. You move away from the silent alcoves, leaving behind the preserved artifacts, the strange metallic tools, the stone masks, the mysterious carvings, and the mummified figure resting eternally in darkness. As you step further down the corridor, the air shifts again, softer now, warmer, almost as though you are crossing an invisible threshold. The walls around you become smoother, their carvings more refined, their lines flowing like water guided by memory. There is a faint sound ahead, not an echo, not a hum, not a drip of water, but something softer, like waves brushing gently against stone. A rhythm, a pulse, a heartbeat. You walk toward it slowly. Each step becomes quieter. Each movement becomes gentler. The underground world seems to breathe with you, guiding your pace, calming your thoughts, quieting your mind. The corridor widens into a gently sloping ramp carved with flowing patterns. You place your hand on the wall, warm, unexpectedly warm. Like sunlight absorbed by stone long ago, the sound grows stronger, still gentle, still distant. A rhythm, steady, ancient, alive. At the bottom of the ramp, you reach a massive stone arch, but unlike the other entrances, this one is adorned with intricate swirls resembling wind patterns, spirals like galaxies, and symbols that pulse faintly when your lantern moves. This is a gateway, a true inner gate, a boundary into a deeper part of the Forbidden City. You step through. The chamber waiting on the other side is unlike anything you have seen so far. It is vast, larger than the others, its ceiling lost in darkness, its walls carved with murals that stretch in long circular paths, looping like the rings of a celestial calendar. Your lantern's glow spreads slowly across the room, revealing more details. A wide, circular floor carved into a perfect disc. Concentric lines ripple outward toward the walls like waves frozen in stone. The center of the disc is marked with the same symbol you've seen before, the circle within a circle, the ancient mark of something deeper. You walk slowly toward the center. The air thickens, not uncomfortably, but meaningfully, as if this room holds memories too heavy to rise easily to the surface. The sound you heard before, the soft rhythmic pulse, is louder now, but still gentle. It comes from beneath the stone floor, from somewhere deep below. You kneel, placing your palm gently on the center symbol the moment your skin touches the carved stone. A soft vibration rises through your hand, warm, pulsing, steady, like a slow heart beating deep in the earth. You exhale softly. This chamber is not just a room, it is a heartbeat, a memory, a guardian. The walls around you shimmer faintly as the vibration spreads outward. Your lantern light flickers, catching the details of the murals carved into the stone. You stand, holding the light higher. The first mural shows a group of people descending into the earth, guided by glowing orbs that light their path. Their faces are calm, their expressions serene, as if this descent was not a refuge, but a choice. The next mural shows enormous caverns filled with structures, dwellings, gathering halls, long bridges carved from stone. Thousands of figures walk through these tunnels, carrying objects shaped like lanterns that emit soft light. Another mural depicts a massive hall, so large it looks like a mountain turned Niaz. It looks like a mountain turned into darkness. At the center, a group of tall robed figures stand around a sphere of light, their hands raised as if channeling energy or guiding the city's life force. You follow the murals around the room. Some show peaceful scenes, children playing near glowing underground pools. farmers tending to luminous plants that grow beneath the ground, scholars studying stone tablets carved with complex geometric diagrams. Others grow darker, scenes of collapse, floodwaters rushing down deep tunnels, rock walls cracking under pressure, people fleeing deeper into the earth as the world above shifts violently. One carving shows a great chamber shaking apart, figures raising their arms toward the ceiling as cracks form. And then, mural, unlike any other. It shows the surface of the earth, mountains, rivers, deserts, with the underground world mirrored beneath it like a reflection. But in the reflection, the symbols of the underground sun appear brighter, larger, more important. A civilization beneath, thriving while the world above changes, guided by light not from the sky, but from the earth's own heart. You stand silently, absorbing the story. This was not merely a city. It was a world built with purpose, a world built with knowledge, a world built with understanding of the earth's rhythms. And then, something happened, something powerful enough to drive them deeper, or silence them forever. Your lantern flickers again, only this time not from vibration. The air shifts. A faint breeze glides across your neck. You turn slowly at the far end of the chamber. Hidden behind a row of carved pillars is another doorway, tall, dark, silent. Unlike the others, this doorway is unadorned. No carvings, no symbols. Only smooth black stone that absorbs the light rather than reflecting it. You feel something shift inside you. A quiet curiosity, a gentle pull. You walk toward the doorway with slow, deliberate steps. Your lantern casts soft glows across the stone floor, illuminating faint dust that dances like tiny ghosts. As you approach, you realize the doorway leads not into a room, but into a descending staircase. Straight downward, steep, narrow, a path into the deeper. Unknown, you place your hand on the cool wall beside the entrance. Your breath softens. Your heartbeat quiets. The underground hum grows faint, as though this next part of the city lies beyond even its reach. You begin to descend. The steps are wide and smooth, polished by centuries of passage. Your lantern reveals just enough to keep moving a few feet at a time, while the rest falls into thick, velvet darkness. As you go deeper, the air becomes cooler, heavier, calmer. Your footsteps echo softly, swallowed quickly by the earth. You count your breaths, slow, steady, letting the stillness guide you. After a long descent, the staircase opens onto a narrow walkway, suspended over darkness. The stone beneath your feet feels solid, but the void below is complete. A blackness so deep your lantern's light cannot reach its end. This walkway leads to a platform ahead, a circular landing, carved canes. Into the rock wall, you walk toward it. Each step is soft, gentle, the sound fading into nothingness when you reach the platform. Your lantern reveals carvings on the far wall, but these carvings are different, sharper, more angular, more mathematical symbols arranged in grids, patterns resembling star charts, lines that form geometric shapes too precise to be merely decorative. This chamber feels less like a temple and more like a memory vault, a place of knowledge, a place where the deepest secrets were kept. As you step closer, one carving catches your eye. It shows 3 layers: the world above, the rivers, the mountains, the desert, the world below, the tunnels, the chambers, the glowing halls, and then a deeper world still, a place marked only by the circle within the circle symbol. The 3rd layer is not shown clearly, not carved in detail, only hinted, only suggested, as if its truth was too deep to depict. As you reach out toward the symbol, the platform beneath you trembles, softly at first, then stronger, as if something deep below has awakened. Your lantern flickers. Dust slips from the carved ceiling. A low hum rises deeper than before. older, resonant like a distant choir beneath the earth. You step back instinctively. Steadying yourself, the hum grows louder. The carvings around you begin to shimmer faintly, gently, as if absorbing the resonance. And then, silence, total, complete. Heavy, you stand still. Your heart slow and calm, listening to the echo fade into the deep chambers below. Something is moving down there. Something ancient, something alive in memory. If not in form, you tighten your grip on the lantern and turn toward the deeper descent, because ahead lies the heart of the underground world. The chamber the explorers never reached. The place the government sealed. The truth the canyon has protected for centuries. And tonight, you are going there. You stand on the circular stone platform, the carvings shimmering faintly around. You like stars hidden beneath the earth. The silence after the trembling fades feels deeper than before, heavier, almost sacred, as if the underground world has acknowledged your presence and is waiting for your next step. You breathe slowly, letting your heartbeat settle, letting the quiet settle around you like a second layer of air. Your lantern's glow flickers gently, casting long shadows that sway like ancient ghosts remembering the halls they once walked. Ahead of you, the path continues. A narrow crack in the stone wall, a continuation of the walkway, stretches toward the darkness beyond. You raise your lantern. The light reaches only a few steps ahead before it is swallowed by blackness. You take your first step. The stone beneath your foot is cold, smooth, impossibly steady. Your footsteps echo once, twice, then disappear immediately as if the air itself absorbs sound. The darkness ahead seems almost alive, not threatening, but aware, watching, waiting. The walkway follows the curvature of the cavern wall, bending gradually. You keep your left hand lightly against the stone, feeling the subtle warmth beneath the surface, a warmth that does not fade the deeper you travel. Soon, you reach another carved entrance. This one is larger than the others, much larger, tall enough for several people to pass through, wide enough for an entire procession. Your lantern glow touches the edges of the doorway, revealing carvings unlike any you've seen before. These are not symbols or figures or maps. These are scenes, a vast underground hall carved in stone. Rows of people gathered in circles. Tall figures holding glowing spheres high above their heads. Rivers flowing through illuminated tunnels. And above them all, the symbol of concentric circles, the inner sun of the underground world. You lift the lantern higher. One carving shows a group descending through a vertical shaft, ropes or carved ladders guiding them down. Another shows massive stone gates carved into the canyon walls long before the canyon existed. Another shows the world above ravaged by storms and floods, while the world below remains calm, illuminated. Safe, you step through the large doorway. The chamber on the other side is enormous. Your lantern, small and warm, is swallowed by the vastness. Only a narrow pool of light circles your feet. The rest of the room stretches into darkness, so complete it feels endless. You take a step. The floor is smooth, almost polished. Your footsteps make almost no sound. Then, slowly, a room reveals itself. The walls are lined with colossal statues, figures standing twice, maybe 3 times your height, each holding a different object. One holds a spear carved from stone. Another holds a staff with spirals etched into its surface. Another holds what appears to be a star chart. Their faces are serene, elongated, with the same calm expression as the statue in the upper chamber. But these figures, they are guardians, protectors of the deeper halls. Your lantern's glow flickers against their stone forms, casting gentle shadows that make them appear almost alive. You walk between these silent sentinels, feeling their presence around you, not frightening, but monumental. as if watching over a sacred space at the far end of the hall. A raised platform emerges from the darkness. You walk toward it, your breath steady, your steps slow and deliberate. The platform is circular, like the chambers above, but larger. Its edges carved with repeating patterns of suns, spirals, and flowing lines. At the center rests a pedestal. Upon it sits something small, something round, something glowing faintly in the dark. You step closer. It is an orb, smooth, dark, translucent, but glowing from within with a warm golden pulse, like a tiny heart made of light. The same type of orb shown in countless carvings. The same orb that people below carried through the tunnels. The same orb depicted as the lifelight of the underground. Civilization, you hold your breath and lift your lantern closer. The orb pulses once, a soft, gentle glow expanding within it like breath. Not bright enough to blind, not dim enough to ignore. The room feels warmer. You do not touch it yet. You only watch, and in that moment, you feel a shift, not in the air, not in the ground, but in memory. A whisper, faint as dust sliding down a stone. Footsteps, not near you, not now, but echoing from the past. You blink, steady yourself, breathe. Far across the hall, you notice something carved into the wall behind the pedestal, a mural deeper and more detailed than any other. When you raise your lantern, the carvings shimmer into view. It is the story of the underground city. You walk to the mural, letting the lantern sweep across the stone. The first panel shows people living on the surface among rivers, forests, and plains. They look peaceful, their faces calm. The second panel shows a catastrophe. The sky filled with dark clouds, lightning across the land, floodwaters rising, the earth cracking. The third panel shows the same people guided by tall, robed figures, the ones with elongated heads leading them beneath the ground, down long tunnels carved in spirals. The fourth panel shows the construction of the underground city, stone pillars being raised, tunnels carved with precision, spheres of glowing light placed in the halls. The fifth panel shows knowledge, the robed figures teaching the people to grow food without sunlight, to purify water, to keep warm in the deep earth, to navigate by sound and vibration. And then, the sixth panel, the deepest one, the most mysterious. The underground world is shown fully illuminated, a vast network of chambers, lakes, farms, halls, and living spaces. Figures stand around a giant sphere of light, larger than the rest, at the very bottom of the world, and beneath that sphere, a dark shape, a shadow, a symbol carved into the stone, a circle within a circle, the mark of the deepest chamber. You step back, breathing slowly. Your lantern flickers again. The orb on the pedestal pulses one more time, brighter than before. You walk to it, your hand trembling slightly, not from fear, but from awe. The orb's glow grows steady, warm, inviting, as though calling you to lift it. Carry it, continue deeper, but before you can touch it, a soft sound echoes from the dark behind you. A whisper, faint, almost like a breath brushing across stone. You turn slowly between the guardian statues. A faint light glows near one of the far walls, a doorway partially hidden in shadow. It wasn't lit before. It wasn't visible before, but now, a warm golden glow pulses from within the stone, matching the orb's rhythm. Something deeper has awakened. You raise your lantern and walk toward the glowing doorway. Your footsteps glide across the smooth stone. Your breath softens. Your heartbeat slows. The closer you get, the brighter the doorway glows warm. Soft, golden, like the inside of a living ember. When you reach the threshold, you see that the doorway leads to a descending tunnel carved with spirals, flowing lines, shapes that resemble water and wind. This tunnel feels older, much older. The air that rises from it is warm, warmer than any part of the city you've explored so far. You place one foot on the upper step and feel the soft vibration travel through your bones. This is the path the mural showed, the path to the deepest layer, the path to the circle within a circle, the path to the heart of the Forbidden City. You take another step down. The light behind you dims gently. The orb's golden glow fades back into silence. The guardian statues become shadows once more. Your lantern lights the descent ahead. Narrow, steep, winding, ancient. You breathe softly and continue downward, each step deeper into the secret. The canyon has guarded for thousands of years. The staircase beneath your feet curves gently downward. Its stone steps worn smooth by ages of passage, yet untouched by modern feet. Each step carries you deeper into a silence that feels older than the canyon itself, thicker than any darkness you've walked through so far. Your lantern glows warmly in your hand. Its light soft against the carved walls. The engravings here are different, older, thinner, carved with more delicate hands. Spirals wrap around each other like threads of ancient wind. Lines curve like flowing underwater rivers, and tiny star-like markings. The stone guiding the path like constellations carved into the earth. Your footsteps echo faintly, swallowed quickly by the distance. The air grows warmer, but also more still. You move deeper. The passage tightens for a moment. Low ceiling, narrow walls, as if this part of the city was designed for only a few chosen people to enter. Your breath moves softly in the darkness. Dust drifts lazily in your lantern's glow. Then, the passage opens. A wide chamber unfolds before you. Not vast like the Guardian's Hall, but intimate, rounded, shaped like a natural cave refined by ancient hands. At the center stands a circular stone table, low, old, carved with weathered symbols. Around it are placed smooth stone seats carved directly into the floor, like a council circle or gathering place. You step closer. Your lantern reveals faint scratches and grooves on the table's surface, the marks of tools, or writing, or perhaps ancient discussions carried out centuries ago. You run your fingers over the grooves. They feel familiar, like language or the memory of language. A calm stillness settles over your shoulders, warm, thick, enveloping you like ancient air that refuses to let go. For a moment, you simply breathe. Quiet, steady, patient. But then something catches your eye. On the far wall of the chamber, almost hidden, behind a curve in the stone, is a mural unlike any you have seen yet. You lift your lantern. The mural glows as if the rock itself remembers light. It shows two groups of figures. One group stands on the surface world, beneath a bright sun, surrounded by mountains and sky. The other group stands deep underground, beneath a glowing sphere, surrounded by curved halls and flowing lines. Between the two worlds is a vertical shaft descending like a tunnel, straight and narrow. At the top, the surface people offer something downward, small orbs shaped like the glowing spheres of the underworld. At the bottom, the underground people accept them, raising their hands in gratitude or reverence. A connection, a partnership, a bond between the world above and the world below. You stand quietly, absorbing the meaning. This underground civilization was not a secret from the surface tribes. They were connected, intertwined. Perhaps they shared knowledge, or refuge, or memory. A soft tremor hums in the walls, not strong enough to shake, but enough to vibrate faintly under your fingertips. You lower your hand. Someone once gathered here. People discussed, learned, decided. This was a place of thought, of guidance, of direction. You step away from the mural, your lantern casting warm shadows across the room. On the opposite side of the chamber, you notice another archway, smaller, lower, framed with spirals that narrow as they descend. A path meant only for the deepest travelers. path meant for those chosen to see what lies further. Inside, you walk toward it. The doorway is so low that you must duck slightly to enter. As you bend forward, the temperature shifts again, warmer, almost comforting, like stepping near a hidden spring deep underground. The tunnel ahead glows faintly, not with your lantern, but with tiny flecks of mineral embedded in the stone. They shimmer like starlight caught in rock. Your lantern becomes almost unnecessary. You lift it anyway, but the light now competes with the soft glow around you. You walk forward slowly, breathing in the metallic scent of ancient mineral dust. The passage curves downward in a gentle spiral with each step. The faint hum grows stronger, pulsing through the walls like a slow heartbeat. The sound is not mechanical, not man-made, but alive. Your own breathing instinctively syncs with the rhythm, slow, steady, calm. The tunnel opens into a long, narrow corridor. The walls here are covered in carvings, but these carvings are different from the murals above. These are lists, lines, symbols arranged in columns, a record you move along the wall. Your lantern revealing words or what appears to be words, carved with incredible precision. Lines curve into spirals, then into abstract symbols, then back into geometric shapes. It looks like a language older than alphabets, older than written history, maybe older than memory itself. And beneath the symbols, figures holding spheres of light, pointing downward, as though urging those who walked this path to continue. To descend further, you take a slow breath. The hum deepens. It is as if the earth beneath the canyon is breathing with you, guiding you deeper into its heart. The corridor ends at a final doorway, tall, wide, etched with patterns that resemble waves and rising sunlight. The stone around it glows faintly with a soft, golden warmth. Your lantern flickers. You approach the doorway. There is no door, only the arch, only the threshold, and beyond it, darkness, warm, calm, silent darkness. You step inside. Your lantern reveals a vast descending staircase, the widest you have seen yet. Carved with such precision, it looks like a river of stone flowing downward in perfect symmetry. Deep below, a faint golden glow pulses rhythmically, soft, slow, steady. The same glow as the orb, the same symbol carved in stone, the same pulse that has been guiding you since the first chamber. This is the path to the core, the deepest layer, the forbidden heart of the underground world. You begin your descent, step by soft step, breath by slow breath, surrounded by warm air, quiet humming stone, and a darkness that feels protective rather than threatening as you go deeper. Your lantern light reflects off polished walls, revealing scenes carved into the staircase itself, figures holding hands as they descend, groups kneeling around glowing spheres, tall robed beings guiding others across bridges suspended in vast underground voids, a structure deep in the earth that looks like a temple round, domed, glowing softly from within, and at the bottom, the circle within the circle. You continue downward. The hum grows stronger. The glow grows brighter. Your heartbeat slows to match the rhythm. You reach the final step. A wide platform stretches ahead of you. Smooth, it's polished, its edges carved with flowing lines like gentle waves. Beyond it, the chamber opens, and there it is, the deepest chamber, the inner sanctuary, the heart of the forbidden city. Huge pillars rise from the floor, curving upward into darkness. The walls shimmer with mineral veins that glow like captured starlight. Pools of still water reflect golden patterns across the stone, and in the center, floating slightly above a carved base, is a sphere of warm, pulsing light, not bright, not harsh, but soft, golden, alive. The inner sun, the light that powered the underground civilization. You stand still, breathing softly, letting the warm glow soak into your skin. It feels like standing inside a heartbeat. It feels like standing inside a memory. It feels like standing inside the oldest secret the canyon holds. The sphere pulses once. The chamber breathes. And the story of the underground world prepares to reveal its deepest truth. You stand at the threshold of the deepest chamber, your lantern trembling faintly in your hand, not from fear, but from awe. Before you glows the soft golden sphere suspended in the center of the room, pulsing gently as if breathing. Every pulse sends a warm ripple through the air, slow, steady, calming like a heartbeat echoing from the center of the earth. The chamber around you is vast and rounded, its walls curving upward into a dome that disappears into darkness. The glowing veins of minerals shimmer faintly, like constellations frozen in stone. Pillars carved with swirling patterns rise from the ground, curving slightly inward, as if bowing in reverence to the orb in the center. You take a slow step forward, then another. The golden light touches your skin, warm, soothing, ancient. For a moment, the cavern feels alive, not with movement, but with memory. It feels like a living heart, still beating after thousands of silent years. Waiting patiently for someone to return, your lantern begins to feel unnecessary. Slowly, softly, its flame flickers as the orb's glow fills the room. You lower it, letting its small light dissolve into the greater one. The hum becomes clearer, not mechanical, not artificial, but organic, gentle, almost musical. You approach the orb. It floats above a circular pedestal carved with a now familiar symbol. A circle within a circle. The innermost ring glows faintly, pulsing in sync with the orb's heartbeat. The outer ring is carved with spirals, flowing lines, and geometric shapes you have seen throughout the underground world. You kneel gently before the pedestal. The warm glow drapes over you like a blanket, calming your thoughts, slowing your breath. It feels as if the light itself recognizes your presence, curious, welcoming, ancient, aware. You lift your hand slowly. You don't touch the orb. You simply hover your palm above it. The light responds. A warm pulse rises toward your hand, not strong, not overpowering, but like a soft breath brushing the skin of your palm. A memory seems to stir in the air. You see, in the faint reflections on the orb's surface, tiny images, flickering silhouettes, shadows, movements, like echoes of people long gone. You blink, steady your breath, and the images sharpen. They are not random. They are memories, echoes of the underground civilization. The orb shows them to you in soft, blurred shadows, not like visions, but like candlelight illuminating. Ancient paintings on a wall. You see tall, robed figures guiding others through vast tunnels. You see crowds carrying glowing spheres through underground farms. You see children playing beside still underground pools, reflecting golden light. You see scholars sitting in circles around stone tables, studying carvings that resemble star maps. Then you see something deeper, a gathering in a circular hall. The same symbol carved into the ceiling. People stand around a larger sphere of light, the very orb before you, as if it were the heart of their world. You lean closer. The light warms your face. Shadows dance across the cavern walls, and then the images shift. You see the world above, storms tearing across the sky, floods rising, mountains shaking. You see people descending into the earth, a desperate migration guided by the tall, robed figures. You see the underground world lit for the first time, the orb igniting, filling the halls with warmth, bringing calm to the terrified faces of those who fled the destruction above. The orb was their sun, their light, their guide, their memory. The images dissolve. You breathe in, slow, calm, steady. The orb pulses once more, brighter now, filling the chamber with a soft radiance. For a moment, it feels like the entire underground world is awake, watching, remembering, recognizing that a living soul stands before its heart again. After centuries of silence, you lower your hand, The hum softens. The cavern grows still again. You stand slowly, your lantern in your hand, though it hardly glows now. The orb seems to acknowledge you, and then settles back into its steady rhythm. You turn slightly and notice another detail you hadn't seen before. Behind the glowing sphere, carved into the curved back wall of the chamber, is a mural so large it covers nearly the entire wall. But it is faint-worn by time, obscured by mineral deposits, softened by millennia of silent dark. You bring your lantern closer, slowly. The mural awakens in the warm golden light. It shows 3 layers of existence. The surface world at the top. The sun shines bright over mountains and rivers. People walk the land. Some farm, some hunt. Some meditate beneath trees. The underground world beneath the surface, the tunnels twist like a labyrinth. Chambers shine with glowing spheres. People gather, learn, teach, and thrive. The deepest layer's single symbol, the circle within a circle, surrounded by darkness that seems intentionally left uncarved. This deepest layer is not shown as homes or halls, not farms or meeting places, not temples or chambers. It is shown as a void, a place without form, a place beyond depiction, a place the ancient artists chose not to reveal. You step back, breathing slowly. Something about the symbol feels different now, more meaningful, more alive, more connected to the orb behind you. You turn again to face the orb. It pulses one deep, warm glow, and then a softer one, as if acknowledging that you are ready to see what lies beyond this chamber. Your lantern trembles in your hand. The ground is steady beneath your feet. The air is warm and calm. Then you notice something else. To the right of the chamber, hidden behind a curve in the wall, a narrow stone staircase spirals downward, even deeper than you have traveled. You move closer, your heart slows, your breath softens. The entrance to the deepest descent is carved with no murals, no symbols, no guidance, just smooth stone, as if this path was meant only for those who understood the underground world from within. Not by reading symbols, but by feeling their meaning. You raise your lantern. The staircase disappears downward beyond the reach of light. Warm air rises from below, soft, steady, ancient. The hum returns, deeper now, almost like a gentle heartbeat far below your feet. You inhale slowly and begin the descent. The orb's golden glow fades behind you as you descend into the spiraling path. The stairway winds tightly, pressing the walls into a narrow curve. Your lantern casts long shadows that stretch and curl along the carved stone. Each step echoes softly downward. Each breath blends into the warm, ancient air. The farther you descend, the deeper the hum becomes. Not louder, but more present, more alive. The walls are smooth, too perfect, as if shaped by something other than chisels. The spiral keeps turning, down, down, down. The air grows warmer, your movements become slower, softer, more peaceful. You reach the bottom step. A narrow corridor stretches ahead, unlit, untouched, unmarked. This is the deepest part of the city. The place no explorer ever described. The place no carving fully revealed. The innermost memory, the final secret. You stand still, breathing softly, the quiet wrapping around you, and step forward. The corridor ahead feels different from every passage you've walked so far. It is not decorated with spirals or symbols. It is not carved with stories or murals. It is blank smooth, unmarked, untouched, as if this last stretch of the underground world was meant to hide something, not explain it. The air is warm, but not heavy. It surrounds you gently, like the soft breath of a sleeping creature. Your footsteps are nearly silent on the polished stone floor. Your lantern glows faintly, its light reflecting in soft ripples along the walls, creating the illusion that the stone itself is breathing. You walk slowly, calmly. Each step forward feels like sinking deeper into the heartbeat of the earth. The hum beneath your feet grows warmer, not louder, but deeper, more resonant. Soon, the corridor opens. A vast cavern spreads before you, but not like the others. This one is completely dark. Not the empty dark of caves, but a deep, living darkness that seems to move in slow waves. Your lantern struggles to penetrate it. You lift it higher. Shadows peel away just enough to reveal the edges of the space. Pillars rising like silhouettes. Walls curving inward. The ceiling lost entirely to shadow. For a moment, you stand in complete silence. Then, a soft glow appears ahead. A small one, a faint one, barely a whisper of light. You walk toward it, slow and careful, each step sending gentle echoes into the endless chamber. The glow grows brighter as you approach. Not golden like the orb above, but cool, white, and soft, like moonlight reflected in still water. And then you see it, a pool perfectly round, carved into the stone floor as if by the careful hand of an artist. Its water is impossibly still, so still it looks like glass. A pale glow rises from beneath the surface, illuminating the chamber just enough to reveal its symmetry. Columns surround the pool in a perfect circle. The walls curve upward, smooth and polished. And overhead, nothing. No carvings, no murals, just the vast silence of the earth. You kneel beside the pool. The water is clear, clearer than any water you've ever seen. Its surface untouched by dust or time. When you lean closer, you expect to see your reflection, but instead, you see something else. Shapes, shadows, lines, scenes unfolding beneath the surface, not reflections, but memories. The water is a mirror of the past, a window into the moment this underground world was. Abandoned, the surface ripples gently as the images sharpen. You see the upper world, storms tearing across the sky, lightning slicing through clouds, winds bending forests into submission. Then you see the underground world lit by thousands of glowing spheres. People gathering in meeting chambers, children sheltered by their elders. A vibration shakes through the halls. The murals on the walls tremble. Stone cracks. Dust falls. The deep heart of the city, the glowing orb, begins pulsing faster. Brighter, stronger, as if trying to protect them. But the shaking grows worse. Buildings crack. Tunnels collapse. People run, holding the glowing spheres tightly. You feel your breath tighten as the images grow more frantic. The underground world is falling apart. And then, you see something else. The tall robed figures, the guardians, stand around the great orb. Their hands raised, their faces calm. They chant, move, gesturing in patterns you do not understand. Light rises from the orb, a vast, blinding wave, and washes through the entire city. The trembling stops. The tunnels fall back into silence. But something has changed. The people look confused. Some collapse to the ground. Some look around as if seeing the chambers for the first time. The robed figures gather them, guide them, lead them deeper into the earth. Deeper than the glowing farms, deeper than the Hall of Echoes, deeper than the murals. Down the very stairway you descended. Into this cavern, you watch as hundreds gather around this pool. Mothers holding children, elders clutching carved tablets, young men and women carrying glowing spheres, and the robed figures lead them. Into a narrow fissure in the far wall, a passage you had not noticed before. You lean closer to the water. You see their faces, their fear, their hope. Then the final moment appears. The great orb above their artificial sun dims slowly. Gently, its light fades into darkness. The robed figures place their hands on its surface. The last glow flickers, and then the orb dies. Light vanishes. Silence falls, and the people, every last one disappears into the deeper. Fisher. The pool goes still. The images vanish. Only your own breath remains. A long, slow, quiet breath in the darkness. You rise slowly, your fingers brushing the stone rim of the pool. The air around you is still warm, still humming, but now, the hum sounds like a faint echo of a memory that once kept this city alive. You look to the far side of the chamber, the fissure. The people entered thousands of years ago. Your lantern barely illuminates it. It is narrow, deep, uneven, not carved like the rest of the city. This was not part of the plan. This was an escape. A last refuge. You approach it slowly. Warm air flows out of the fissure, soft, steady, ancient. You lift your lantern high. There is a path inside, not straight, not carved, but real. A path into a deeper darkness that the ancient civilization fled into and never returned from you. You stand at the edge, breathing softly, listening. The hum fades more. The warm glow dims. The chamber behind you feels like a memory folding into sleep. You take one slow step forward, then another. Your lantern flickers, but holds, and you enter the fissure. The walls press close around you, rough and uneven. This tunnel is natural, formed by the earth itself. The floor slopes downward. The air grows warmer. A faint breeze brushes your face. Then, far ahead, a faint glow, not golden, not white, blue dot, soft, dim. Otherworldly dot. You walk toward it, every step slower, every breath softer. The tunnel opens slightly, and the blue glow brightens at the far end of the tunnel. You see a chamber, small, quiet, perfectly round, and inside it, surrounded by ancient stillness, lies the final secret of the underground world. The blue glow pulses gently at the end of the fissure, soft and rhythmic, like a distant star breathing beneath the earth. The narrow passage wraps around you as you move, its walls rough and untouched by ancient hands. Unlike the carved halls above, this tunnel is wild, formed by nature, claimed by time, shaped by pressures deep within the canyon's bones. Your hand glides along the stone as you walk, warm, unexpectedly warm, as if the rock itself still holds the memory of those who passed through it long ago. Your lantern casts faint golden light behind you. But ahead, the soft blue glow grows stronger, more steady, more alive. You step forward quietly, the world above now impossibly distant. The silence here is deeper, almost physical, a silence that presses gently on your skin, settles over your breath, slows your heartbeat. As you reach the end of the tunnel, the walls widen. The ceiling rises. The air grows warmer still, and then you step into the chamber. It is small, much smaller than any hall you've seen. But the moment you enter, you feel it. A presence, not a being, not a voice, not anything alive, but a memory so powerful it feels like a heartbeat hidden in the chamber walls. The room is perfectly round, carved not by hands, but by the slow pressure of water and stone over thousands of years. The floor is covered in smooth sand, untouched, undisturbed, as if no one has walked here since the ancient civilization disappeared. At the center lies a pool, not of water, but of light. A shallow depression in the stone emits a soft, pulsing blue glow that fills the room with an ethereal calm. The light flows upward in gentle waves, painting the walls in shades of midnight and moonlit silver. You kneel beside the glowing pool. The blue light reflects in your eyes, soft and soothing, like the memory of calm oceans under a star-filled night. The hum is gone. The warmth is steady. The air feels sacred. You lean closer, slowly, carefully, and for the first time, you see what lies beneath the surface of the blue light. Not water, not stone, not minerals, but symbols, floating, shifting, swirling symbols of light. They move like gentle streams, swirling into patterns, breaking apart, reforming a language not carved in stone, not written on tablets, but made of pure light. You breathe in quietly. The symbols move faster, not threateningly, but as if recognizing your presence, your breath. Your heartbeat, the light thickens like mist, and then thins again. A soft wave flows outward from the center of the pool, not touching your skin, but passing through you. Warm, soft, ancient understanding. The symbols rearrange. They form shapes, then lines, then figures, then scenes. The blue light becomes a story told not with words, but with light. Your lantern dims against the chamber's glow. You lower it slowly. The first scene appears. A circle of tall robed figures, their heads elongated, their faces serene, standing around a pool of light. Just like this one. They raise their hands. The pool brightens. A child steps forward, small, curious, unafraid, holding a sphere of golden light. The robes shimmer. The pool pulses. You feel your breath slow as the scene unfolds. This chamber was a place of initiation, a place of learning, a place where the deepest knowledge of the underground world was passed down, not through stone carvings, not through spoken words, but through light. The light shifts. A new image forms. The robed figures stand beneath the earth's crust. Above them, storms break across the surface. Lightning cracks mountains. Winds tear forests apart, but below, the pool glows softly. The children watch in silence. The robed figures calm them, guide them, teach them. The light swirls again. Another image. The great orbit inner sun of the underground city begins to dim. The robed figures gather around it. Their hands move in complex motions. The orb flickers. The chambers tremble. Then the orb dies. The people panic, but the robed figures lead them calmly, silently down a narrow tunnel, down a fissure, down into this very chamber. You feel the warmth of the blue light deepen. The next image forms. The people gather around the pool. Their glowing spheres flicker weakly. Children cling to their parents. Elders hold carved tablets to their chests. The robed figures kneel around the pool. They place their hands into the light. The light brightens, not blindingly, but warmly, like a sunrise spreading beneath the earth, one by one. They guide the people into the fissure at the back of the room, a narrow crack in the stone. Leading deeper still, you turn slightly. There it is. The fissure, barely visible, barely wide enough for a person. The light from the pool flickers against its edges. The symbols swirl. A final scene appears. You see the robed figures, the last of them, entering the fissure. One of them turns back. Not toward the pool, not toward the city above, but toward the world beyond time. He raises his hand slowly, and the pool dims. The light fades. The chamber darkens. The fissure fills with shadow. Then the light returns only as a faint glow. The glow that has waited for you tonight. The story ends. The symbols dissolve, drifting upward like blue fireflies. Then, fading into the walls of the chamber, you sit back on your heels, breathing softly. Your heartbeat is slow. Your mind quiet. This was the final memory, the moment the underground world died. The moment its people disappeared. The moment their path led deeper into the earth, to a place no one has ever discovered. You stand slowly. Your fingertips brush the edge of the pool. The light warms your skin, holds it gently, then fades. Your lantern flickers. The fissure at the back of the room calls softly. A whisper of ancient air brushing against your face. You take one quiet step toward it. The air grows warmer. Another step, the faint blue. Light reflects on the fissure. Walls, another step. The world behind you fades. The chambers, the pillars, the artifact halls, the glowing orbs, the murals, all swallowed by silence. You stand at the edge of the final passage, and you understand. This is where the ancient people went. This is where they vanished. This is where the deepest secret lies hidden. Your breath softens, your heart calms. You raise your lantern and step into the last darkness. The fissure tightens around you like the throat of the earth, jagged stone brushing your shoulders as you step inside. Your lantern casts thin threads of golden light along the walls, but most of the fissure remains swallowed in shadow. The air is warm, thicker, almost humidous if you're stepping into a place untouched by even the slow breath of time. You move slowly, calmly. The walls pulse with faint warmth. Beneath your fingertips, not heat, not vibration. Just the lingering memory of those who passed through this same narrow passage long ago. Your footsteps are nearly silent, swallowed instantly by the rough stone floor. Tiny grains shift beneath your boots. The flicker of your lantern dances along the fissure's jagged edges. Then, the passage widens, not by much, just enough for your shoulders to move freely. The ceiling lowers slightly, forcing you to bow your head as you walk. Every few steps, the rock forms small alcoves, as though nature carved quiet pockets of rest for those who once traveled this path. The deeper you go, the more the air changes. It carries a faint, earthy scent, like the smell of deep forest soil after rain, or wet minerals beneath a quiet river. You breathe slowly, letting the warmth settle in your chest. The flicker of blue light from the chamber behind you grows dimmer with each step, fading into memory. Soon, only your lantern remains, a soft heartbeat of gold in the thick darkness. The tunnel drops downward, steep at first, then gently, then steep again, like the earth guiding your path in measured breaths. Your hand brushes the wall. The stone becomes smoother, unusually smooth, as if shaped by something other than erosion. You slow your pace. The hum returns. Not the soft hum of the orb, but a deeper, slower vibration. A heartbeat, not yours, not human. A heartbeat of the earth's core, echoing faintly through miles of stone. It rises through your feet, moves up your spine, settles softly behind your ribs. You do not feel fear, only calm, only presence, only the sense that this is the place the ancient people intended to reach, a sanctuary beneath the sanctuary, a depth beyond the depth, a chamber hidden even from their own stories. Your lantern flickers. The tunnel curves left, then right, then left again, twisting like a serpent buried beneath the canyon. And then the air opens. A soft breeze brushes your face. You lift your lantern higher. A space unfolds before you. Not vast, not grand, but unmistakably old. A chamber carved into a dome, smooth and perfect, as if shaped by a single breath of molten stone long ago. The walls glisten with dark minerals that shimmer like moonlit waves. At the center stands a single stone monolith tall, narrow, its surface carved with symbols so faint you can barely see them. You step closer. Your lantern reveals thin, winding etchings running down the monolith's length, made of lines that twist into spirals, spirals that collapse into geometric shapes, shapes that fold into dots and curves. A language, but older, much older. Too old for the murals above, too old for the civilization. You followed through the city. You touched the stone warm, the instant your fingers make contact. A soft glow rises not from the monolith, but from the ground around it. Blue light spills outward in a wide circle, illuminating the chamber like a sunrise beneath the earth. Your lantern dims instinctively, as though respecting the deeper light. Something stirs beneath your hand. A memory, not an image, not a scene, but a presence ancient, silent, alive in the way mountains are alive in the way oceans remember storms, in the way stars hold the history of light. The monolith breathes, not literally, but its warmth expands, spreads up your fingers, into your palm, into your arm. Like a pulse of ancient understanding, a whisper forms in your mind, not a voice, not words, a feeling of descent. You remove your hand. The glow dimly follows your fingertips, then settles again. A soft breeze strokes your cheek. You turn. On the far side of the chamber, hidden behind a curve of stone, lies another passage, small, low, almost invisible. You walk toward it. The blue glow reflects faintly on the fissure walls, creating soft mosaics of light and shadow that dance like memories of forgotten water. You kneel slightly to enter. Immediately, the air changes, warmer, still, thicker, like the breath of a cave that has not opened in thousands of years. Your lantern brightens again as the blue glow disappears behind you. The tunnel slopes downward, steep, uneven, raw. You move slowly, your palm flat against the stone, guiding yourself through the tight turns. Then, after a few minutes, the tunnel expands. You step into a chamber, so small it feels like the Earth's final heartbeat. A perfectly round room, no murals, no carvings, only smooth stone walls that curve upward into a natural dome. And in the center, a single object, not stone, not metal, something else, a sphere, dark, smooth, almost featureless, but glowing faintly from within, a soft, pulsing red light, deep as embers in a dying fire. You walk toward it slowly. The red glow brightens as you approach, illuminating the chamber walls in soft crimson dot. Your lantern dims again. This sphere is different, much different from the golden orb above. Different from the blue pool, different from everything else you've seen. The sphere pulses once. The chamber vibrates softly. You stop, not out of fear, but because the pulse feels like a breath brushing across your skin. You kneel very slowly. Your lantern flickers once, then steadies. You lean closer. The sphere brightens inside its dark shell. Shapes form not clearly, not sharply, but like shadows swirling in liquid light. Then they sharpen, just enough for your eyes to understand. This sphere holds the final memory, the true reason the underground world vanished. The light patterns swirl again, gathering into a single scene, slowly forming through the glowing haze. You hold your breath, not from fear, but from the weight of realization. You are about to see what no explorer ever did, what no record ever kept, what the ancient people hid beneath all the layers of stone, carvings, and light. The sphere pulses again. The memory begins. The red sphere pulses again, slow, deep, warm, and the chamber fills with a soft crimson glow that spreads across the stone walls like the breath of a sleeping giant. You kneel before the sphere, your lantern nearly extinguished, the warm red light reflecting softly in your eyes. The air becomes still, calm, heavy with meaning, like a room holding its breath as a story prepares to reveal its last forgotten chapter. Inside the sphere, the swirling shadows stabilize. Lines begin to form. Shapes sharpen. The light thickens into something almost solid, not a vision, not a dream, but a memory woven directly into the glowing core. The final story begins. The first image is of the surface world, but not the world you know. Mountains rise, sharp and jagged. Forests stretch endlessly. Rivers shimmer like silver veins. There is no canyon yet, only an ancient continent untouched by time. You see the people, the same people who would one day flourish underground, walking the land with glowing spheres in their hands. Their clothes are simple, their faces peaceful, their knowledge deep. They live in harmony with the land. guided by the tall robed figures whose elongated heads mark them as teachers, leaders, guardians. Then the image shifts. The sky, darkens, clouds churn into violent spirals. Winds whip across the land, tearing forests apart. Lightning fractures the sky like glowing cracks in a dark crystal. The robed figures stand at the edge of a vast cliff, their cloaks whipping violently in the storm. Their eyes turned upward. They are not surprised. They are waiting. The storm intensifies. Rivers overflow. Earth trembles. A long shadow falls across the land. A darkness descending like a veil drawn slowly. Across the sky, then you see the moment it begins, a blinding flash, a soundless roar, a wave of devastation, sweeping across mountains and plains. The great catastrophe. The ancient people flee. The robed figures guide them toward a narrow fissure in the ground, the first entrance into the world beneath. They descend, hundreds, then thousands, carrying their glowing spheres, holding children tightly, helping the elders down the steep passage. You breathe softly as the memory unfolds. Inside the earth, the people move downward through tunnels shaped by time, dark, damp, cold, until they arrive in the first great chamber. There, the robed figures raise their hands. Light spreads. Warmth fills the cavern. An artificial sun forms the golden orb you saw in the upper chamber. The underground world is born. The memory shifts again. Centuries pass. Generations live, learn, build, thrive. You see the glowing farms beneath the earth. The hall of echoes where sound becomes memory. The murals carved on stone, children learning the ancient symbols. Elders teaching them the sky they no longer see. The underground city thrives in silence. Then another tremor, soft at first, then stronger, then violent. Cracks form along the ceilings. Tunnels collapse. Pillars tremble. The robed figures gather at the grate. Orb again, their hands moving like waves of light. The orb flickers. Pulse slows. Glow dims. It cannot hold the city any longer. The people panic. The robed figures calm them, lead them deeper down the spiral stairways. Past the murals, past the Hall of Echoes, past the council chamber, until they reach the final sanctuary. The blue chamber. The pool. You see the moment again from a new angle. The pool glowing brightly as the robed figures show the people the path forward. This path. The fissure. The last tunnel. The people disappear into the darkness one by one. Glowing spheres flickering like fireflies swallowed by shadow. The robed figures follow last. One pauses, turns back, raises a hand, not in fear, not in goodbye, but in acceptance. The blue pool dims. The golden orb above dies. The underground city falls silent, and the people. They continue deeper into a world even the ancient civilization never mapped. A world beneath the deepest chamber. The memory flickers. The red sphere pulses once more. A final image appears. Not of people, not of chambers, not of tunnels, but of the earth itself. Layers upon layers of stone, like pages of a book written over millions of years. Deep within those layers, far beyond where the fissure ends, something glows, a faint red light, pulsing, alive, connected to the sphere before you, and then darkness. No more images, no more movement, only the soft, warm heartbeat of the sphere. The memory ends. You remain kneeling for a moment, breathing slowly. Letting the silence settle around you like a gentle snowfall, you lift your lantern. The light feels small now, humble beneath the presence of the red sphere. You rise softly. Your fingers brush the stone floor. Warm, still, ancient. You understand now. The underworld did not die. It moved deeper. Beyond these chambers, beyond the fissure, beyond the reach of time, The people survived, not here, but somewhere hidden in the Earth's deepest layers. A civilization not lost. Just sleeping, waiting, protected by the canyon's silence. You take one last look at the red sphere, its soft glow reflecting gently on the stone walls, and step away, carrying its warmth in your chest. As you turn to leave the chamber, your lantern brightens. The darkness shifts. The path you came through glows faintly, inviting you to return, step by slow step. You walk back through the narrow fissure, past the murals, past the council hall, past the wide stairways and silent guardians, up through the long corridors, past the golden orbs chamber, past the echoing halls, past the surface memories carved into stone, until finally you reach the first doorway. The canyon's breath returns. The cool air brushes your face. You climb the narrow ledge, your lantern flickering in the night wind. The sky stretches above you, vast, timeless, shimmering with stars. You reach the edge of the canyon. The world is silent. .com ancient you. Take a slow breath and whisper into the night. Some stories never truly disappear. They only go deeper. You look once more into the darkness below, feeling the heartbeat of the earth beneath your feet, and then turn toward the quiet world above. The forgotten city sleeps again, and the night carries its story gently into your dreams. Welcome back. From Dreams of History.